Hey everyone, welcome to the Hornet King channel, and in this video I'll be removing a bald-faced hornet colony, which is only one queen and a bunch of comb, and I relocated it here to my house. I had to drive about 2 hours to get this nest. It was down in Sykesville, Maryland at a school, so I brought it home here to my house and relocated it onto my barn window. Here's the video, check it out.
So the administrator to this school had called me down in Maryland and said that they had a bald-faced hornet nest, or a Dolichovespula maculata nest, that was underneath the railing at one of their buildings, and they needed the nest to be removed. Well, since it was early on in the season, I decided to come down and relocate this nest. So I brought down a mason jar that I had the lid punctured a couple holes in it, and I was just going to slide the jar right over top of the nest with the queen inside and then detach it from the rail and then put the lid on. Well, when I got there, I noticed the queen was still inside, so I quickly put my gloves on. I'd even put my suit on. I still had shorts and a t-shirt on, and I just put the glass right over top of that nest and tried to gently slide it off while we're detaching it from underneath of that railing. And it pulled just a little bit here, and off it came. Worked like a charm. And once I got the nest off, I just put the lid back on, and I brought a cooler with some ice in it so that way I could keep the nest and the queen cool on the ride home. It was a 2-hour drive. So I just gently placed the jar into my cooler with some ice in it, but there was a little riser in there to keep the glass off of the ice directly and just keep her cool. Now she comes out, she kind of flies around, so you can see the queen's there. So I just put the lid back on to make it dark in there so she would chill out, literally and figuratively, for the ride home. So I got girlfriend in a glass jar, separated her from the original jar, which was this one. So she's just chilling in there, kind of. And I hot glued the nest here onto the bottom of this board. So it'll flip up like this. You can see the larva and everybody's still inside. Everybody's intact, everybody's happy, and it's holding. So I'm gonna go attach this to the window. And that way, I am going to hot glue a little bit more around the bottom here just to make sure. I mean, it does feel like it's pretty firm. This part, unfortunately, got somewhat detached. But she might cut that off anyway. And if she does, no big deal. It's still attached most of the way around. So, all right, I'm going to go attach this so I can get her up against it. Let her go inside of it, and then I'll leave. Here we go. So there it is from the outside. So something I didn't really show when I put this together, because I was really just trying to get it done. I wasn't expecting to relocate this nest, but when I put nests on platforms like this before, I'd put the platforms directly against the wall, and that allows for like earwigs and spiders and stuff to be able to access the underside of the platform. So what I did with this one is I attached this backing plate here that spaced the main structure support away from the window. So that way it left a gap in here. So there's like a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch gap between the window and the piece of wood. So that way, if something were to sense that there's a nest there, they wouldn't be able to easily get to it. So that's the plan anyway. So far I haven't found any spiders or any earwigs or anything. So hopefully it stays to be a success under there, and no house wrens or anything try to get to it. House wrens are my concern too, but so far so good. Okay. There's the queen. Just assuming you can see her. Alright. So here she goes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this jar up like that once I take the lid off, and I'm just going to push it up here and wait till she goes inside the nest, and I'll pull the jar down and leave. Let me try this. Alright, so it's attached. All she needs to do now is go in it. I'm not going to pull this away until she goes inside. And she seems pretty chill, but
If she flies off, then this whole project is for nothing. So, I mean, she'll do orientation flights even if she does fly off, but I want her to know this is her nest. My arm's getting tired. All right, here she goes. Come on, go down inside. Go down inside. Almost. She's just checking it out. Probably smells funny because of that glue. But there she goes. All right, bumped it, but it didn't seem like it bothered her. That's too far. It's the next morning. She's still in there. Not much has changed to the outside yet, but I've been seeing her going back and forth. So, keep an eye on it. Okay. Let's see what's going on with the hornet today. Well, she's been adding. Oh, did she? She's been adding envelope. That's her butt. Definitely been adding some envelope on. Got a bunch of wet envelope in her mandibles. She's getting ready to lay it on the paper. Pick a spot, girlfriend. Pick a spot. There she goes. Repairing holes. Cool. Alright, so inside the barn, this is where the nest is. So you can see it from the inside of the barn, which I don't really come in here from this angle to film because I need to clean the window. But so that's where the nest is going to be. So you'll be able to see it building from the inside of the barn. You'll be able to see it through the glass like I did like 2 years ago. So you'll see like the onion shaped bits of the envelope from the inside of the nest. And I'll be able to come out here in the middle of the night and you'll be able to see the inside workings of the nest, which would be pretty cool. Go ahead and take a look at the squirrel. So this is Peaches the squirrel. Peaches the squirrel is one of my newest rehabs. She was found on the road, and so she must have either fell out of the nest during a storm.
Oh, hello, Peaches Squirrel.
She's a little skittish of the camera. You can understand that.
Oh, what a great squirrel. What a great squirrel. Hello, Peaches Squirrel. Hello, Peaches Squirrel.
So she was found on the road. My neighbor called me and said, hey, I got a baby squirrel. So she was real little, and brought her home, and I started taking care of her and got her recuperated. So now she's an adult squirrel, but she had developed MBD, which is metabolic bone disease, and that's from squirrels that don't get enough variety in their diet. So even though I was giving her almonds and pecans and peanuts and spinach and all walnuts and things, she wasn't eating enough of the nuts that had calcium in them and phosphorus. So she started having seizures after I'd already released her. So I brought her back into the office and started feeding her straight calcium pills and mixed in with some electrolyte, and now she's bounced back. So she's been released again, but I'm still giving her calcium supplement. So but she is very much wants to be around me all the time, so I had to put her out here while I was working on this video so she would leave me alone for a little bit.
Oh, what a good squeal.
So, all right, Peaches, get back to it.
Hello, Rhea-the-Rhea.
See, Rhea-the-Rhea's gotten a lot bigger since people saw her last.
What a good birdie. What a good birdie.
And then there's Doris. There's Doris, Sweetie, Rhea-the-Rhea, Rhea-the-Rhea. That there is Henny, and that's one of the Ronettes. It's another one of the Ronettes.
Hello, Doris. Oh, Rhea-the-Rhea. Hello, Rhea-the-Rhea. It's Sweetie Birdie. Hello, Sweetie Birdie. Oh, it's a good birdie.
So I've been busy here at the Hornet King Ranch, doing a lot of projects around the place. I extended the animals fenced-in area, and I built on an overhang for the barn, so that way when it rained, the birds can have a place to get underneath of protection, so that way they're not getting rained on all the time, which they don't seem to care about anyway. I just personally care about it. So the fenced-in area used to only come to like right here, so I extended it out right to the edge of my property, so that way you get the full run of the backyard area here. So now it comes all the way out here to the edge, right to the property line. And it goes up back here behind the Emus box. So now this is the overhang area. I just finished up for them to come under here and get protection from the elements. So yeah, so that's what we've been busy doing.
Oh, Rhea-the-Rhea. Hello, Rhea-the-Rhea. You cooling off, birdie? Oh, summertime birdie. Oh, Rhea-the-Rhea. Oh, sweetie birdie. Hello, sweetie birdie. Oh, yawning birdie.
All right, so here we are with the nest. So this nest is developing fine. It's been about 3 or 4 days now since I put this here, and the queen has been very, very active in adding envelope. The larvae that I could see when I put the nest on this piece of wood initially already developed silk caps over top of their cells. So they're going to be hatching out probably within the next week or so as full-grown adult wasps, which is awesome. So yeah, so she just came out. She's going off and going foraging, probably catching some bugs or maybe getting some cellulose to turn into envelope. So this is awesome. Very, very cool. This might be one of the earliest successful relocations I've ever done of bald-faced hornets. So I'm excited to see it develop, and hopefully it continues to develop and doesn't get raided by a predator, or she doesn't give up on it and fly off. So fingers crossed. So I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, well, thank you so much for tuning in to check out this video. If you guys enjoyed this content, drop in the comments, let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions for future videos or someplace to see me covered an upcoming video, also drop in the comments, let me know. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so and hit that bell notification down below, and that way you get an update anytime I do post a video. Thank you so much for tuning in to check out this video and supporting my channel, and I'll catch you on the next video.